Okay, this is for 3.R.03 practical aids and gaits. This is for part B. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to discuss artificial aids. Now, as you can see, my hand, I have a crop here, and if you have a look at my feet, I also have spurs on my heel. Now, artificial aids are basically just that. They are additional aids that you use only to reinforce a natural aid when a horse isn't as sensitive to a natural aid as it needs to be. So if you're not getting a reaction out of the horse or they're not obeying their aids, you might use artificial aids to help get that message across a bit better. But artificial aids are definitely not used for punishment of a horse, and they are to be used with care, and usually only experienced people should use artificial aids because they can be used incorrectly and possibly cause injuries to the horse. Okay, now also discussing aids and gaits, practical. I'm just going to stick that whip down there because I don't actually need it. Put the paper like that. Okay, so we're going to talk about if we were riding away from a herd of horses or towards horses. Now, what we need to bear in mind is that a horse is a herd animal, so if they see off in the distance a group of friends or a group of horses, you're going to want to join those horses. So you need to make sure that you have what we call a restraining aid on your horse. So you need to have contact with their mouth at all times, and that way you can control their forward movement. And that way, if they were to go to take off towards the group of horses, you could quite easily manage to keep them under control. Now, if we were moving away from a group of horses, you'd need to use what we call a forward moving aid. So what you do is you'd squeeze with your legs evenly on both sides to give the horse the aid to move forward. Now, with the combination of having contact with his mouth with the restraining aid and the forward moving aid of squeezing your legs, this would give the horse the indication that you want them to move forward, but only at the pace that you would like them to go. Now, it's very important that we do have control of the horse at all times if we are moving towards a group of horses or away from a group of horses. As I said, it's an instinctual thing for horses to be with other horses because they are a herd animal, so we need to really bear in mind that we're being cautious if we're moving in between groups of horses, and that we are conscious of our control over the horse and the horse's reactions to the situation. Okay, that's all for part B for aids and gaits.